RIZIN ヘビー級マッチ。百戦錬磨のキックボクサー、アムステルダムの破壊王ジャルジーニョ・ホーゼンストライク。格闘家を志しスリナムからオランダへ。ムエタイ仕込みのテクニカルな打撃が持ち味。キックボクシング世界タイトルを7度獲得。アリスターに続けニューデモリッションマン。対するはウクライナの剛腕ストライカー、新北の最終兵器アンドレイ・コバレフ。元祖北の最終兵器ボブチャンチンに憧れる24歳。プロデビュー以来9戦全勝中。豪快な打撃で KO を量産するその姿はまさにイゴール・ボブチャンチンの再来。2018年の日本であのレジェンドたちの再来が。ジャルジーニョ・ホーゼンストライク VS アンドレイ・コバレフ。
Just waiting the arrival of Андрея Ковалева.
In the blue corner from Ukraine, Андрея Ковалеv.
Oh, Lenny Hart following the melodic sounds, the dark tones of Андрея Ковалев's music. He's 24 years old. He stands 6'3", undefeated in mixed martial arts at 9-0. He's got 7 KOs, 2 submissions. Frank, he has a 100% finishing rate. This guy says he loved to fight as a kid, but had no opportunities to actually train the sport. Finally, he got into boxing when he entered college. He said boxing wasn't enough. He needed more. He needed diversity. He got into mixed martial arts. He's been training ever since. In fact, he's now a gym trainer as his second job, including being a professional fighter. You will notice that this guy loves to use his jab. He likes submissions. He says guillotine and the Darce choke is his favorite submissions, but you'll see, and being from the Ukraine, old school Pride fans know exactly who his role model is. Igor Bobchanchin is his hero. He wants to prove to everybody that he will become the best fighter out of the Ukraine. He wants to take this beyond the boundaries that we've ever seen. This guy's ready to rock and roll, Frank.
Fedor Emelianenko also brought him out to help finish up his camp to get ready for Frank Mir when he had his fight a couple weeks ago. And he even said that his ground is questionable because you never see it, because he ends up knocking everybody out before they actually get there.
In the red corner from Suriname, Jorginho
Jaira Rozenstruika, 30 years old, also undefeated in mixed martial arts, 4-0 with 4 KOs. 2 heavyweights entering the ring tonight, both of them with a 100% finishing record. One of them will continue to be undefeated. The other one will have a loss on their record. This guy used to compete in soccer, but he had to stop because he got into too many fights, and his teammates said, go to a gym, get off the soccer field, think about fighting, and he did. Made his MMA debut in 2012. He says, I have zero plans on submitting anybody. I'm knocking people out. His hobby, he just likes to relax, chill out with his friends. He's currently dating, oh, excuse me, incorrect. This guy here, undefeated as he is, when I looked at some of his fights, I told you he liked to use his jab. You and I talked about this before. He loves to use his jab. This guy is an unbelievable fighter, but I'll tell you one thing here. When he competes, he has one thing: put someone's head into the second row.
So we have two great strikers that are coming out here to prove how good they can strike. Obviously, Rozenstruik is the better striker of the two, technically speaking. He's got the more experience. He obviously has a long kickboxing career. He also has to be very, very careful. If he gets so attached to the head hunting, he's going to get taken down very easily by Kovalev, and then it becomes a problem of what's going to happen on the ground. On paper, this fight looks like it should be on the feet. Both guys should stand right in the middle and try to fight each other. But the moment, my personal belief is the moment that Kovalev gets hit one time, and if it doesn't put him to sleep, he's immediately going to shoot and try to take him down and make it a ground game.
He looks at his opponent and he says, you know what? He's 9-0. Good for me. Perfect for me. I'll take those 9 victories and add them to my record. That means I defeated all 9 of his opponents as well. By the way, he is dating Isis Vanovic, who's a standout kickboxer in the Netherlands. He says he has a dream to share anything and everything that he's ever learned and martial arts to underprivileged kids in Suriname. Good for him. He wants to be a role model. He actually gives lessons as we speak to kids for free. When we asked him what his perfect fight is tonight, what would it be a perfect fight? He says, you know what? Knock him out. Walk away, akin to what Mark Hunt does.
I'm wondering what he had on his shins, because they spent a lot of time spraying alcohol and wiping his shins and knees down. So I'm wondering if he had a bunch of grease on his shins and knees. It could be anything, like who knows what he put on backstage, but they're still trying to wipe down his shins and his knees. And now they're wiping down his entire body. They have no idea what's going on with him. I wish we had a fly on the wall in there to find out what's going on with, like, why are they wiping him down so much? I mean, it could be he's just sweaty, but who knows?
I don't want to overly, I mean, we had Murata compete in the last fight, and she was fairly self-deprecating. But I'm not going to lie to you, Frank, as soon as I heard this walk-up music, I felt old because I had this song on cassette. Not on CD, I had it on cassette.
You sure it wasn't on 8-track?
No, not that old. Not that old, but I had this song here on cassette. I think I overplayed it in my old, what did I have back then? Could have been a Nissan Pulsar, Frank Trigg. A Nissan Pulsar.
You didn't play it on your Walkman as you were running around, as you were running?
Walkman, absolutely.
The waterproof Walkman with the double lock on it?
The yellow one, absolutely.
Yeah, I had 2 of those.
Some songs never get old. Ladies and gentlemen, before we had RIZIN 10 kick off, Frank and I were getting prepped for the show. Dougie Fresh, he was playing off of his phone.
We were told that we had 6 minutes left. Of course, I had to play 6 minutes with Dougie Fresh and Slippery.
Absolutely. Let's get this heavyweight battle underway. Here's how the two gentlemen stack up against one another. The younger Kovalev has 1-inch height advantage here. He's got also a bit more experience, but the weight factor will go to Rozenstruik here. This is going to be a fantastic scrap.
青コーナー190センチ 103.4 キロアンドレイ・カバレフ赤コーナー188センチ 111.35 キロジャグジーニョ・ホーゼンストライクレフェリーは7秒が確
この試合はRIZIN MMA 特別ルールで行われます。1ラウンド5分、2ラウンド5分、3ラウンド5分、インターバルは60秒で行われます。グラウンド状態での膝による頭部への攻撃、サッカーボールキック、組み付けは認められています。またこの試合は両者が合意したため。
These guys are absolute monsters, Frank Trigg. Look at the size of these two guys.
They're small. They're small guys.
I mean, we are scheduled for 3 rounds, 5 minutes each.
Nope.
Yellow card right off the bat.
Grease.
For Rozенstruik, so we know it's something illegal.
Yeah, he had grease on that. So that's 10% of his purse. I don't agree with that personally. I don't like the rules. They take, every time they throw a yellow card, they take 10% of your purse away, and there's really no benefit, to it. All it does now is it hurts the fighter trying to fight, and if he gets one more yellow card, then the fight's over. So anything could happen at this point.
There's the jab there. Kovalev a little lighter on his feet. On his feet. Oh, a right hand thrown there. Beautiful punch thrown there by Kovalev.
Nice jab by Rozенструик, like you said.
Yeah.
He's going to sneak him in. He'll find his space, especially with his little gloves on. For kickboxing, obviously, he's used to having bigger gloves. There's a lot less area to find your way through.
The way he throws it, though, at times, he likes to lean it over. Obviously, he's got a bit of a reach disadvantage here. Oh, and a nice, beautiful right hand thrown there by Kovalev. Oh, and a right hand landed there by Rozенstruik. Beautiful. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I was wrong. I thought by now Kovalev would have shot. He's been hit 3 or 4 times heavy by Rozенstruik, but he's staying up.
Back it up now. Here's Rozенstruik. This is where he usually times that jab in the right leg kick. He's looking at more counter punching now, Frank.
I'm not sure. He's not much of a counter puncher, so I'm not sure why he's relying on this counter punching for this particular fight. He must see something that I don't quite see from here, but he is counter punching. Look, you see, he's not really leading that much. When he does lead, it's just to make him throw again. Like you see there, he led just to make Kovalev throw a little bit, and he came over the top and hit him with the right.
Kovalev's taking some shots here, still moving forward. You can see there, Rozenstruik paused for a moment, right when he's going to throw. A perfect opportunity for Kovalev to land that right kick, or to go for that takedown.
Rozenstruik does a good job, too, of changing up the pattern and changing up the pace of his pattern. He'll jab, 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 cross, and all of a sudden jab, cross. And so you're not used to that rhythm. You're trying to block the cross that's not coming yet, and when you finally relax from the cross that didn't come is when he throws his cross, and that's what hits you. So a lot of his punches are coming through. One, you're out of position because you're throwing punches, which is why he's counter-punching right now, but also, two, he does a great job of changing the pace.
Just past the midway part of the first round. Whoa. Scheduled for 3. Good shot landed there by Kovalev.
I
was just going to say, Rozenstruik leaning back to his right, Frank. Oh, nice. Oh, the mouthpiece fell out.
Couldn't tell it.
2 minutes to go here, round 1. Outside right kick landed there with the shin bone. By RIZIN Rozenstruik. Oh, and a right hand landed by Kovalev. Needs to follow up with something, Frank.
The other thing that Kovalev does is that every time he gets a hard kick thrown at him, he stops moving. Where with Rozenstruik, every time anything lands on him, he immediately moves right after.
Rozенstruik's dipping to either side right now. When he's throwing with his power, he's dipping and he just pauses there to the side, which could be an opportunity for Kovalev to use any one of his legs to throw that kick. Not much footwork by these two guys, Frank. They're just, they move gingerly one side to the other. Or not gingerly, excuse me, slowly, one side to the other.
And gingerly, too.
And there's a beautiful nice shot there by Kovalev. He's getting bloodied up, though. Good shots there. Now that Rozenstruik sees that blood, you'll see him pick up the pace here. Both guys here, less than a minute to go here. Drops his right hand, this Kovalev. Dangerous thing to do with a punching power of Rozenstruik. 30 seconds to go here. Right teep there thrown by Kovalev.
Look at the styles too, where Rosenstruik's his stance is leaning forward a little bit from the waist, where Kovalev's is very straight up and down. And look at the power that he gets, Kovalev. He gets on that overhand right. This is amazing. From that position, he's able to throw with so much power.
Round one comes to an end. RIZIN heavyweights.
Wow.
Andrei Kovalev. Jaira Rozenstruik. Interesting first round here. I'm going to give the edge, in my opinion. Make it went either way, Frank, but as we take a look at the replay here, Rozenstruik landing some crazy bombs.
He's able to get inside a lot better. He has a lot better hand position. Like I said in the opener, I really believe that he's got the better technical striking. But the question is, what's going to happen once he gets hit? I thought for sure Kovalev would have taken him down to the ground by now, because he's got hit several times, very heavy hit punches. His jaw was getting racked over the place. His brain's getting racked over the place. I thought at least at that point now, let's take this to the ground. But he's more content to stay up on his feet, and he hasn't been wobbled. Even those punches that have come clean through and really hurt him, like this one coming through, it changed his whole body. He really hasn't been wobbled at all, where you're like, oh, he's hurt. He just kind of takes every punch in stride and keeps coming forward.
That one there rolled his eyes back. How tough is Kovalev? There's some mass power coming when Rosenstruik lands those strikes.
Seconds out. Red
Kovalev's
corner,
ready to go.
seconds out, please.
He's already got a yellow card. He's
already got a yellow card, doing an old school boxing trick, Frank.
Oh, mouthpiece, got to wait 10 more seconds.
Nice teep kick there.
Yeah.
Back to the center of the ring they go. Methodical striking right now. A little more bounce in Rosenstruik's step here, Frank. A little more bounce in his footwork.
Did he get warmed up finally? Is it, I'm not sure. Does he see something? He really hasn't done much difference other than a couple of more high kicks than we saw in the first round.
Smart use of the teep there by Kovalev, because Rosenstruik was coming in for that finish, Frank.
With a huge flying knee that probably would have got through, but the teep kick pushed him off. What I find interesting, Joe, is that both these guys agreed to use elbows, and neither one of them have thrown an elbow yet from any position.
Good point. Very good point. I wonder, when you made the comment in the first round, you were surprised Kovalev hasn't gone for that takedown. After seeing Rosenstruik get toweled off, it doesn't mean that grease is gone. It's in the skin. And the minute you start sweating, but there's your takedown there. He gets the takedown. I was going to say, is he concerned, though, that he's still that his opponent's going to be slippery? At this point, he doesn't care. There's a nice little elbow landed there, sneaky elbow. And I was trying to get over there, Frank. Trying to pass to that side.
And I didn't put that together, Joe, that, hey, the grease is probably still there. Let me just wait a second. Great usage of Kovalev to use the ring ropes to his advantage. Little rope-a-dope, drew him into the rope, and as the ropes push back, he turns the corner and puts him right down on the canvas without a problem. Rosenstruik did a good job of blocking from stepping over the mount and keeping from getting a really bad position. He is caught inside. You can see his feet up in the air. He doesn't really know what he's doing from here. He needs to turn towards Kovalev, put both feet down on the ground, try to strip himself back into at least a half guard to work himself back in the guard, but he's really just kind of content, due to his knowledge, to just kind of sit here and keep his feet not really doing much. He's really not activating anything in his lower body.
Got to watch himself for an Americana here. Hammerlock just waiting to be stolen there, waiting to be taken there by Kovalev.
Kovalev's in a great position. He can step over the head, he can step over the arm, go back over the legs. He's
Remember, the old school, his legs are up in the air, so the defense, like you said, Frank, is not there. The old school jiu-jitsu motto is when you take someone down to the ground, you know, you've got to go through a bit of a stage called the floppy fish theory. You pull a fish out of water, you put him on the ground, he's going to flop around for a little bit. Eventually, they'll stop flopping around, and then you can take advantage. But in a timed fight, you got to pick up the pace a little bit.
Yeah, Kovalev is kind of content right now just to kind of sit inside and not really do much. And his takedown was so easy. I wouldn't, you know, be mindful of him if he went north-south, and if it didn't work, go all the way around to the other side and go side on the other side, because it really hasn't going to change much position, but will exhaust Rosenstruik.
Now, one thing I liked about Rosenstruik, though, is every time Kovalev did try to go to mount, he was able to block it.
He is smart enough to at least put that inside leg up. Caught in half. Quick push to the knee and slide that leg right out.
There's also the ground and pound. Now, what you hear his corner telling him to walk it out. Basically, get that leg out. You know, if you ever have a chance, you know, John Danaher Coach John Danaher from Renzo Gracie's Academy in New York. The 4 steps of jiu-jitsu, very simple. Take your fight down on the ground, pass the legs, get to a dominant position, and then go for a submission or a finish. And, you know, in mixed martial arts, you're fighting a guy like this, Frank, where you know you're on the ground, and you picked it up right off the bat. He's not defending properly. If he doesn't really know what to do, set up, get to the back.
Yeah, set him up. Like,
get to the back.
Force him to start turning away from you. Force him to start giving you his back. And just by natural human body chess, you put yourself in certain positions, he'll feel like he'll have to give you his back to be in a better position, which is what you want him to do.
Now, though Kovalev, if this continues in this manner, you know, will continue to win. Remember, in Japan, they do not score round by round. They score the fight as a whole. So at RIZIN, they score the fight as a whole. But in this position, is he doing enough to win this fight in terms of compared to what, you know, Rosenstruik did in the first round?
Well, you know, you gotta look at it right now. That obviously the American style is go round by round. So you're looking at first round goes to Rosenstruik, second round goes to Kovalev. But if you're judging it as a whole fight, who did more damage? Who did more of the damage?
In the stand-up, it was Rosenstruik.
And so how much damage was actually accomplished on the ground? You saw all these punches coming through, but it really wasn't that much damage happening. He caught a couple. Like I said, his takedown was amazing. Great takedown
Beautiful,
pass. Yeah. Puts himself in the right position. But now, once he's on the ground, he really didn't affect that much damage. But how much do you weigh the takedown? Is the takedown weighed is a huge amount of damage? How the judge is looking at this fight. There's a lot of factors that can be solved into this, especially when you're looking into a full fight. Also, too, the judges tend to score what they saw last. So the fight would end right now, more than likely the judges would give it to Kovalev because he continued to dominate the entire second half of the fight. We still have one more round to go. Both these guys are looking for a finish. Things could change right now, but right now the fight's relatively close.
To answer your question, though, when you take a look at what Kovalev did on the ground, was that more damage than what Rosenstruik did standing up? And I'd say no, because there was never a point where you thought Rosenstruik's in big trouble. Rosenstruik's in big trouble. He was never really in trouble. He was taking a beating, but not bad.
Yeah, he wasn't like, oh, we got, you know, refs got to start stepping in and looking to finish this fight.
Whereas in the stand-up in round one, you know, he bloodied up Kovalev. Kovalev was in trouble a few times.
Yeah. He's young and tough, and so he didn't fall down. You know, his head stayed still, so his brain didn't get rattled, so he was able to keep it on his feet, but a lot of those punches should have put him down. Those are damaging punches.
That looked pretty low to me, Frank.
Yeah, he's already been warned twice about that low teep kick, and he just did it again.
You know, one thing that RIZIN is adamant on, and not just RIZIN, Frank, the Japanese fans, they want excitement. They want to see exciting fights. They don't care whether you win or lose. Just put on a performance. Right? So, I mean, it's not like they're not trying to finish. It's just not that pace. The high level just isn't there just yet. I mean, on paper, I looked at this fight here and thought, there's no way this one's going. Oh, that was a good shot there.
That was a straight. You heard him grunt. Like, I'm just not going down that time. I'm just going to force myself out of this. They force himself into being on top. Kovalev's in a bad position because
very bad here.
Rosenstruik on top doesn't carry. He's not looking for position. He's looking to hit you. Those guys are the most dangerous on top of you when they're not really looking for a position change. They don't really care. They're just looking to hit you. So every time that you move, you're going to catch another punch.
Now, we should say that it's not like Rozentruik doesn't know how to fight on the ground. He does. He clearly does. His defense in round 2 was kind of like, was kind of awkward. But even in this position here, he did have somewhat of a more dominant position. But Kovalev was able to recover, put him into guard now. But this is not where Kovalev wants to be. He needs to figure something out here. If he can't keep, Rozentruik's posture down, he's got to get out of here because he's just able to, lift up and throw bombs, or if he traps that left arm.
Yeah, and that's what he had earlier. He just, good leg up. He's trying to trap, so Kovalev's trying to trap his arms as much as possible, but he's just taking a beating. So there's one of those situations you got to take 3 or 4 punches to get out of there. He took 2 of them. The knee missed to the head. The kick to the head missed when he was on his hands and knees. He was able to come up and get away from it, but now he's got a lot of ground he has to make.
Both throwing at the same time. It's Rozentruik now trying to pick up the pace here. Another takedown attempt there. He tried to use the leg for the trip, but wasn't able successful.
That was a horribly timed takedown at the wrong time, the wrong position, and now he's just laying there like, this is bad. That was a bad spot by Kovalev.
3 minutes into the final round.
Under 2 minutes to go here, round number 3. RIZIN Fighting Federation 10. Heavyweight action here in the ring. Andreya Kovalev on the bottom from the Ukraine. Jaira Rozenstruik from Sudan on the top.
Kovalev is exhausted.
Yes, he's definitely tired. Both these guys physically exhausted, taking deep breaths. Less than 90 seconds to go here in the 3rd and final round. Even the referees are signaling action. Come on, guys, let's go.
Typical heavyweight style, slowing down at the end. Oh, wow.
Nice spinning attempt there by Kovalev. You can hear Rosenstruik's corner pleading with him to pick up the pace. Let's go for a finish here. Kovalev having none of it, going for the clinch. Referee's telling him, Frank. Reminds me of when you ref.
Yeah, I don't waste time. I know when you're trying to rest. Because I try to rest too. I'm
trying to remember which fight I watched of yours when you were reffing. You had none of it in the 3rd round. No, there's no resting here. You guys are here to fight.
You gotta entertain the fans as well, but you also gotta prove that you want to be in these positions. A lot of these fighters are just holding on and clinching because they need a break.
10 seconds to go here. There's a chance for a trip there, but it's not going to do much, Frank. It's not going to do much. I could not have. There's no way I would have believed this fight would have gone the distance.
I thought for sure it was going to be done by the 2nd round, and honestly. If the fight became a takedown war, it became a ground war, I would have given the fight to Kovalev on paper. But we just saw this fight happen. I think that Rozentruik won the fight.
I think Rozentruik will get the decision. I mean, anything can happen. It is mixed martial arts. But in my opinion, I think Kovalev just didn't do enough to earn a victory. Now, if he does get the fight, Frank, I won't be. It's fine. Don't get me wrong, but
he tried. You see that takedown right there? He was trying for a takedown. Kovalev was. And Rozentruik was just like, no, I'm not going down. I'm going to end up on top of you. And just pushed his way through. You can see Kovalev take a lot of punishment here. This is when we started seeing him start to fall apart physically, because he just was not trying to bounce back up to his feet. He was not trying to defend himself. He was not trying to get back in the takedown game. He was very content to be on his back, knowing that at least he could tie him up and not get hit as much.
And we can see, you got one fighter walking around with his country's flag. The other one was leaning over against the ropes. Nonetheless, we go to the judges' scorecards. Let's find out who wins this one, Frank.
判定の結果をお伝えします。ジャッジ大藪コバレ、ジャッジ豊永ローゼンストライク、ジャッジジェイソンローゼンストライク、よって勝者ジャイラローゼンストライク。
Despite getting a yellow card to start off the fight, Jair Rozensstruik does emerge victorious, taking out Andreya Kovalev. He improves his record, remains undefeated at 5-0, while Kovalev suffers his very first defeat. He's now 9-1.
Well, there was a question about Kovalev. He's been fighting on the regional circuit, the local circuit in Ukraine, and he's undefeated. But what does that actually mean? Sometimes you get these Russians that come in, you're like, oh, you're 20-0, like, who cares? But then you battle him, you're like, oh, wow, he's legit 20-0. You get some guys that come in and they're 20-0, you're like, oh, this guy is just garbage. You don't really know because you don't see him on the world stage. We haven't seen this guy yet on the world stage. He did look great. He did have his ability to be able to take a lot of hard punches, get great positions. What did happen, though, experience overtook it. A guy that's been in trouble before. We've seen Rosenstruik has been in trouble before. He learned how to adapt and was able to overcome it and be able to push forward. And as a result, he's able to beat Kovalev relatively easily, even though he had to do part of it, was able to get on top and countering takedowns and be able to win it from the top gear.
Gotta show love to the fans, Frank. That's how you build fans here in Japan. Were we expecting a more competitive fight? Were we expecting a more exciting fight? Yes. But nonetheless, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to emerge victorious. And tonight, Rosenstruik improves his record to 5-0. So much more action to come tonight.